Thank you, Klaus, for inviting me to this panel here. Yes, my name is Andreas Wieg. I'm working at the German Cooperative and Raiffeisen Confederation, and I'm responsible for the new cooperatives in Germany. And I'd like to present you today what happened in the last couple of years in Germany regarding the new cooperatives. We have on average in the last 3 years about 250 new cooperatives were founded, and most of them are renewable energy cooperatives. 2/3 of them are renewable energy cooperatives. Most of them are PV or solar energy cooperatives. What's the reason for this increase, incredible increase? We are still a little bit surprised in our association. And the reason is a special law in Germany. It's the Renewable Energy Sources Act we have. And this special law has two key features, two main features, which is a feed-in tariff, which means it's very easy for people, for investors in Germany to invest in renewable energy because you have a guaranteed return for 20 years. And the other feature is the obligation of the grid operator, of the grid owner, to purchase all the energy produced by renewable energy. But what's the reason for founding a cooperative to produce renewable energy? What's the answer? And the answer is the organizational structure of the cooperative. And I'd like to stress this special point now in a 2-hour lecture, just in 10 minutes on one slide. That's a challenge. Let's step back in the 19th century and to Friedrich Wilhelm Raiffeisen. And there was a problem in rural areas for the farmers to get money for investments in their barns and so on. And they were heavily indebted by moneylenders. And they had no chance to get money on a free market. And Raiffeisen's idea was to start a cooperation between these farmers. And the key was, the solution was a collective debt security of the whole village. The problem was how to get money without money. And the solution was the first cooperative. And behind this first cooperative, it was a common debt security of all the farmers. And with this debt security, he went to the city, to a bank, and he got a lot of money because the banker said, okay, the whole village is secured. And and then they had enough money. And what was the advantage of the cooperative to the moneylender? And the advantage was local knowledge. Every farmer knows each other in this village. And they know, is there a lazy guy or is it a busy guy? Is it a good land or is it bad soil? And that's what I call the church spire principle, which means it is a local approach. There's a local knowledge. And the farmers could better assess the default and the repayment of loans than the moneylender. That was the advantage. And that's what's behind the so-called church spire principle. If you're on top of a church spire and you look around your village, you can see the last member of your cooperative. This is the local knowledge approach. That's why the local cooperative, rural cooperative banks were so successful in the 19th century. What has this to do with our energy cooperatives in the 20th and 21st century? Especially to something like the energy transition. Our government decided last year to change our energy system. If you're looking for something like a political accident, this is one. Nobody knows exactly how the energy transition works, but we have a lot of problems or challenges. And one of these challenges is the not in my backyard problem. Renewable energy is okay, but please, not in my backyard. How to solve this problem? And the solution is, again, the cooperative and the church Spire principle. If you have a cooperation, if you have an involvement of all the people on site, on a local or on a regional level, then it's no problem. The money is no problem, and you have no problems with the acceptance of renewable energy. And this is one case we have, or one example for solar energy cooperative, one of our about 600 new cooperatives we have. Most of them were founded in the last 3 years. We got about 80,000 new members in the last couple of years, 80,000 new members. And most of them are cooperatives like Friedrich Wilhelm Raiffeisen Energy Cooperative in Bavaria, in Franconia, the northern part of Bavaria. Are there any members of United of Manchester here in the room? So this is a story for all the football fans, because there's a lot of creativity in these small cooperatives. For instance, here, in this example, the local football club, TSV Großbadorf, had the problem because they had no roof for their stadium, as you can see it. Now they got one. And the member of the local cooperative, the Friedrich Wilhelm Raiffeisen Energie AG cooperative, invested in a PV panel on top of the new roof, and the returns are for financing this roof for the local soccer or for the local football club. And the return for the members is a seasonal ticket for 20 years. Good idea. It's not just the money, it's not just the return, it's something, they want to do something for their region. And that's why the church Spire principle, it's a regional approach. They involve local craftsmen for install this PV plant. Local banks are involved. That's why our cooperative banks are so happy with these new cooperatives, because half of the cooperatives were financed by our cooperative banks. And the second case is a heating system, a bioenergy plant. A bioenergy village, Bioenergiedorf in German. And this is a local heating system, and organized in a cooperative too. And there the church Spire principle again works, because there are two rich farmers who produce the bioenergy, the heat, with their bioenergy plant, biogas plant, and they sell the heat to the inhabitants of the village. And what you need is a democratic structure so that nobody can cheat each other. If a rich farmer speaks to the inhabitants and says, okay, I'd like to sell all the heat based on our biogas plant, that would be a problem. And that's what I think that's what's behind the cooperative approach in Germany. It's the local, it's the regional approach, the decentralized approach of the energy transition. And the advantage of the cooperative is the local knowledge, the common responsibility of all the members, and the democratic structure. And this together works really good. It's a short introduction.